This brief tutorial covers how to incorporate sources using summarizing, paraphrasing, and quoting. More specifically, we'll look at what the differences are, how to use them, and when to use them. First, let's look at what it means to summarize something. Summaries do not match the source word for word, but they do give a broad overview using the source's main ideas while leaving out most of the details, but in your own words. And since it's a summary, it's usually a lot shorter than the original source. And anything that's summarized must be cited. Now let's look at what it means to paraphrase something. Like summaries, paraphrases do not match the source word for word. However, paraphrasing converts a passage of the source, like a phrase, sentence, or short paragraph, into your own words and your own sentence structures, while maintaining the source's original meaning. And like summaries, paraphrases must be cited. Now let's look at our last option, quoting. Unlike summaries and paraphrases, quotes do match the source word for word, and they're surrounded by quotation marks. However, quotes only use a brief portion of the source, usually not more than a few sentences. And like summaries and paraphrases, quotes must be cited. Now that we've looked at some brief definitions, let's look at summarizing, paraphrasing, and quoting in action. I'm working on a project about green building, and this is a selection from the article Not Just for Tree Huggers. It's kind of long, so go ahead and pause the tutorial to read through it. Now let's go ahead and look at it summarized. You may want to go ahead and pause the tutorial for a second to read through it. Now you may be finding yourself asking, how do I know when to summarize something? You'll want to summarize something to provide a background or to offer an overview of a topic, to outline main points without having to provide details or examples, to include the source's ideas using fewer words than the original, or to briefly present ideas from multiple sources. Now let's look at a paraphrase of that article. And again, you may want to go ahead and pause the tutorial for a second. You'll want to paraphrase something when you want to express someone else's ideas in your own words, when exact wording isn't important, as an alternative to a direct quotation, so you don't overuse them, or when details or examples are needed to support your writing. Finally, let's look at a quote from that article. And again, you may want to go ahead and pause. You'll want to use a direct quote when the author's words convey a powerful meaning, to introduce specifics, like an argument or an idea that you're going to discuss in depth later on, or when using the author's exact words furthers your argument or position. And on a final note, don't forget that when incorporating ideas or words from other people, their words are supposed to supplement your words, not replace them. And also, don't rely too heavily on any one method of incorporating sources. You'll want to use all three: summaries, paraphrases, and direct quotes. And in another tutorial, we'll cover how to cite these in your papers. Good luck on your projects!